Hello students, instructor here, John Medilla with another screencast, this one in Flash. And there was already a video before this about the action script required to make this little soundboard work. So when we click here, it goes there, we click here, it goes here. And focus was on the action script and on the instance names of these buttons here. I want to focus on some of the other finer points of the document, just to make sure that when you work on this, it will work in similar fashion. So I'm going to close that rendered Swift. Alright, so this is the action script. Okay, and again, this code will be provided for you. It's a kind of template that you can use. And the only things you're really going to change is your instance names of your buttons, which are here, and of course down here too, but up here, you change your function name to whatever you want it to be called. I just called mine go to frame 1. Notice how they use camel case for the capitalization. So it starts out small, and then it's a capital letter, and then small again. Numbers obviously are always tall. And the function name is the exact same here. And then this is all going to be the same, and then the frame number. So I just use frames 1 and 2. You might have more frames or different frames, what have you. If you have animation between those frames, it's going to result in that. Might be frames 1 and frames 10, for example. If there's 9 frames of animation before then. Anyway, I'm going to close that. Other things about the way the file is set up. So if you turn this on, these are all my layers. So this, of course, is my layer that has, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. This is the layer that has the sound buttons themselves, right? So a few things you really want to notice is this. So in this first frame, in the actions layer, you see the action script is there, what the little lowercase a is for. In the button 1 and button 2 layer, the only thing there, if I turn this off and on, you can see, is the white static text in the actual button 1 and button 2. And again, button 1 has instance name of button 1, and button 2 is an instance name of button 2. Then I'm going to turn that off just so we can focus on bottom down here. So in this, in the button 1 and button 2 layer, there's a keyframe at the beginning, of course, but then there's a regular frame in frame 2. That's because it's going to be the exact same. Those buttons aren't going to change, and neither is the text. Neither is anything about those buttons or text. So they're going to stay exactly the same. So that's why it's just a keyframe and a regular frame. However, down here, look at here, frame 1 is going to have what I call the group 1 buttons. Alright? Sorry about that. So it's the group 1 buttons are down here. And each of these, if I click on this one, you can see that it has an instance name. Oh, it's locked. Sorry about that. This one has an instance name of group 1A, an instance name of group 1B. You get the idea. Now, in frame 2, I have a keyframe because it's going to be different. What's different, obviously, is that the group 2 buttons are here. Okay? In the exact same spots, they look exactly the same. They're the same size, just different color and different names, obviously, and different buttons. So this one, for example, its instance name is group 2A. This one is group 2B. You get the idea. So these are what's different. That's why I have to use keyframes for frames 1 and for frame 2, because it's going to be different. So when you have all that, you'll get yours to work correctly. Again, you might have 6 frames using different buttons in each of those 6 frames, but likely you're going to have just frame 1 with those buttons and frame 2 with the other buttons. So the sound buttons will be different, but again, these buttons up here will be the same. And they need to be the same so you can click back and forth between them. If they weren't the same, it would the navigation would be pointless. So just some of the finer points to make sure that everything's set up properly in your document. Thank you. Goodbye.